Siren and Sailor Company. We're going to ask you to join us. Let's see if we can add you on.
Hello.
Hello.
Can you hear
Hey,
me?
I can hear you. Can you hear me?
I can, yes. How are you?
I'm doing great. And how about yourself?
Good. Trying to stay safe, stay sane, stay healthy.
Not an easy thing in this
No.
day and age.
I
So
was
I'm sorry, what is your name?
My name is Chrysten Peddie. I'm the co-founder of Siren and Sailor Theater Co. with my friend Zach Kranyak. We started in 2018, sort of on the cusp of when Musicals Tonight, I don't know if you're familiar with Musicals Tonight, they were a
Sure.
company that was around for a long time, and they
Mm-hmm.
folded in 2018, unfortunately, and they would present these old musicals
Mm-hmm.
that were probably from like the golden age of Broadway, and they were sort of lesser known pieces, and so we wanted to sort of piggyback off of that and do a company where you could present old forgotten gems like that, but also pull pieces that were very familiar to audiences and sort of give them a whole new look-see through the lens of gender, sexuality, LGBTQ plus an LGBTQ plus lens, those types of things. So we started with John and Jen in 2018, which is a musical by Andrew Lippa, and then we started doing a reading series called Bard and Booze, which began with Much Ado About Nothing, and it started as a little idea that my partner had. He used to host these lovely evenings in his apartment where we would all get together and we would pick a play, and then we'd pick names out of a hat, and whoever got which name would read that character for the evening. And he'd make up a little series of drinking game rules, and we would drink along. So it's like Macbeth, like, you hear the word blood and you take a drink and,
Right.
hammered by the end of the first act. So that we decided to take that and put that on stage. And we did Much Ado in sort of like a abridged version, about 90 minutes. And it went really well. We did it at Freddy's Bar over in Park Slope, Brooklyn. We did Christmas Carol, Bard and Booze, and we were planning on doing In the Importance of Being Earnest with a gender swapped cast.
Hmm.
But that unfortunately got canceled because of COVID. So,
Right.
yeah, so we got together and decided, via Zoom, what we would like to maybe do as a virtual reading. So we figured
Mm-hmm.
Midsummer's kind of a fun one. It's one
Sure.
that people know. So, without being able to use a lot of props and other things like that, you'd be able to present that and have everybody sort of follow along and still have a good time. And pretty conducive to adding a drinking game element as well.
Sure.
So we're
Sure.
presenting that on May 22nd at 7 p.m. EST. You can
Okay.
follow us. We're on Instagram. You followed us recently, and we started following
Mm-hmm.
you as well. So we're going to be posting more info about that. You can email us at our website if you want the link, and we'll be giving people more information about that as it gets a little bit closer, which will be really soon. So,
That's fantastic.
yeah.
So I'd love it if you could share some of that information on our page
Mhm.
on Instagram and Facebook. Why don't you put that out there for those who might not be familiar with your company to be able to catch the your new presentation. All right. Well,
Great.
I want to say thank you very much for joining us. And aside from what we just spoke about, what brought you to Shakespeare in the first place?
I mean, I think as a my partner and I sort of have the same feeling about this, that we both were music theater kids and didn't really get as much exposure to performing Shakespeare as we would have liked because we both went to the same musical theater program several years apart,
Mm-hmm.
but found that we sort of felt like there were a lot of things that were covered in that department, but Shakespeare wasn't really one of them. And
Mm-hmm.
Shakespeare has its own musicality to it, so it lends itself really well to music theater performers taking it on and
Right.
doing it because they come with a sense of musicality and can pick up the language pretty easily. So that was kind of what interested both of us in exploring that when we put the company together in 2018.
You know what's funny is that I've been part of a number
Oh,
of
and I
groups
think
over the
maybe
years.
I think it may
Did
be
it?
my internet got a little slow.
Okay.
I missed what you just said.
We at various times over the years, different companies that I've been involved with have attempted to musicalize Shakespeare. And I think, as you talked about, there's something inherently in Shakespeare that has a very musical quality to it, and there are a lot of songs in the plays, the Hey Nonny Nonnies, and
Yes.
all the other things. There's a lot of stuff that's in there, and same way every generation has their actor that tries to define what's Hamlet, what's it to be or not to be, what's the dagger I see before me, all of that. There are just as many people that want to find a rhythm that puts some kind of stamp on what those songs are about.
Yeah.
So I think that's an exciting thing that you guys have coming up.
Thanks. Yeah, we're looking forward to it.
All right. Well, hey, best of luck. Put your information on our page, and we hope to communicate with you again soon.
Will do. Thanks so much for having me. I appreciate it.
Sure. Thanks for
Great.
jumping in.
Good night.
Okay.